Okay, we're live. Hmm? Hope I'm getting well. Come on, let's do this. Let's make this work. Okay. Wow. Okay. 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 Not so bad. Not too loud. Okay. 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 Balancing myself. Oh, I'm in already. I'm live already. Yeah, I can hear all that. So on my end, I can hear it too as well. With the whole sound and all. So I'm just going to wait. My YouTubes are coming by now. They're coming by now. Okay. This one day. This is kind of loud, but just gonna post it on ML Hub. Yeah, I can hear the sound. I can hear the sound in the background. I should go down the speed, but I don't think I should. I don't think there's any need for that. Like it's fine now. Okay, so stream link is out and I dropped it, and I'm sure. Who are the? Let me check the list of reps. Oh, the only person is people cards. I don't think I have people cards and ace. I don't think I have people cards. I think it's that's not nice. That's not good. I think he's gonna have to add me to lobby. MJ's. Whoa, that is not good. That is not good, man. That's not good. Okay, so if you're in the stream chat right now, I'm not actually looking at the chat right now, so I can actually interact with you guys, but I'm going to interact with you guys. Let me just get one of you guys, on my phone, then I'll come and interact with you guys. Okay, so I think that's the guys. Is that him? Okay, I can see MC here already. Okay, they've invited me here. Yeah, I'm taking me to the lobby. So we're gonna come. Yeah. Sorry about that. That's probably gonna echo a little bit, but that was my phone. Just trying to. He said, "Which streamer?" I'm here, like I am literally the streamer. I'm the streamer, Is that I'm good. I think you'll be saying hi. Yeah, music louder than my voice. Yeah, I knew that would happen. Yeah, I'm good. I knew that would happen. I can just tune down a little bit. Let me just go down a little bit. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go down a bit and see that is very decent. Okay, so Carl. So who is Carl? Oh my goodness. Yo, my man. What's up, man? What are you doing? How is the music now? Is it still louder than my voice? I tuned it down a little bit. How is it on that end? How is it on that end? Someone gonna give me feedback on that. Okay. I'm actually viewing the chat right now. So someone gonna give me feedback on the sound from my voice and the game sound. So give me feedback on that if you are there. So I don't really know where Crimson Era members are. Okay, say it's better, but bring it down still. Okay. I'm gonna take it down a bit then, since you said I should bring it down still. All right. I can't really hear anything on my end though, but then again, I'm going to actually take it down. Okay, so how does this sound now, Carl? How does it sound now? Does it sound much better, or does that still have some overlapping issues on that end? I just corrected the sound like right now, literally, but it's all good. Stream misbehaves a lot. Okay, so it's okay now. Okay, all right, so it's better now. Okay, so thanks for the sound testing there, Carl. What have you been, man? I mean, these days we've not even been seeing you online, or I might myself have not actually been online because juggling final year project and all that with school and stuff. But then again, where have you been, man? I mean, this is semi-final, so I don't know. What do you think about a co-casting for finals? Is that possible? Maybe Gerard could help us out, with the whole YouTube thingy and stuff. So what do you say to that? What do you say to that? Yeah, work, school, and hospital. Wow, are you okay? Are you okay? Because hospital doesn't really sound good. Or do you work there or something? I don't actually know that. Yeah, DMs later. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. That's all good. We can just talk about that later privately. I do get that. Right now, I should actually respond to. Oh, he said wrong lobby. Oh my goodness. I can see Sotei Kishidan here though. This is not the wrong lobby because it's Sotei Kishidan versus Crimson Era. So why are they saying wrong lobby? Why are they saying that? I mean, that's actually no. If it were Kaz is supposed to be the one in charge. Or am I in the wrong lobby, Cypher? I don't know. Cypher is in a different lobby than me. I don't see any member of Crimson Era here. That's definitely not a nice thing to be. A nice place to be in. Okay, I'm just gonna interact a bit here. Somebody's commenting right here. Someone says spelling. Oh yeah. Well, as long as you know the lobby that you're entering, the stream you're getting into, the spelling is not really nice. Oh, they said that the mage for Crimson Era and the gold laner is not available. Wow, that is crazy. That is crazy. That's definitely not a position I want to be in. I mean, imagine getting to this point, the semis, and you not being available. Wow, that's just sad. That's just sad. And if they actually lose due to disqualification, that's not actually going to be a nice thing. That's not actually going to be a nice thing. So we need to actually focus on that. But then again, it just got to 10, so people are gonna be tuning in right now, and we're going to see some people flooding into the chat. Everyone wants to see Crimson Era versus Sotei Kishidan. Everyone wants to see that, so it's something we're all looking forward to. Okay, Crimson Era is a team that has risen from greatness. It's a team that is relatively new, so they have thrived on the knowledge of their leader and the experience of their leader as well. So they have used that to gain a lot of momentum and a lot of wins in this tournament. And then we also have Sotei Kishidan on their end. We saw Sotei Kishidan in the last tournament, the Lord's tournament. We saw them. They played. Unfortunately, they didn't go that far, but they also made him. They left an impression. Okay, and then we see them again in the Rookies tournament. And then we saw Hosho Lantern in the last tournament, in the Lord's tournament, whereby it was a Tammuz main and just really spamming the Tammuz right there. Not really willing to delve into other EXP options. But then again, he actually made a very important move right there. Yeah, I'm just gonna respond to this real quick. So like I was saying before, we saw Osho Lantern in the last tournament, and some of these new names, these names are not new, especially for Sotei Kishidan. They are not new. So the MC, Equalizer, ULE, Osho Lantern, the usual lineup for Sotei Kishidan. I'm really looking for the member of Crimson Era, because Crimson Era only have 9 minutes to make up for this point. They need to get here, really. They really need to. It's important. So like I was saying, Crimson Era is a squad that shows potential, and really Sotei Kishidan also show potential. I haven't gotten to this point even though it's a rookie tournament. I know you're gonna say something like there's not really much of a contest or not really much of a challenge. But then again, you think about it, there's actually a challenge, because there are some teams that played very fiercely and still got disqualified. They lost in the group stage, and we also saw DT lose in the quarterfinals. That was actually a very painful, a crushing defeat, because they lost 2-0 against Hao, and that was yesterday. Actually, I don't know if you were here in the stream, so we actually didn't get to see that didn't get to see them advance to the semis. But then again, if they had advanced to the semis, then probably neither of the teams in the current semis would one of the teams would not be in that bracket right now. So this is something that we also have to consider on that end. You can see Hustle Lantern, Equalizer, ULE, and MC representatives of Sotei Kishidan in the lobby right now. One more member still missing though, but they're still winning their attendance compared to Crimson Era. I don't see a single member of Crimson Era here. There's no one here, for Crimson Era. I don't know what's going on. This is a final match. There's supposed to be someone, here. So I'm not available right now. I'm currently in a scrim lobby. Okay, I need to just make that known real quick. I'm currently in a scrim lobby. So like I was saying before, I don't know who's here with me in the chat. Is anyone here with me in the chat? Okay, I don't think anyone is here with me in the chat, because nothing is really happening right now. So I don't know whether Crimson Era are gonna forsake. I really don't want them to forsake. I really don't want them to forsake this, because we've not actually streamed a Crimson match in a long time. We've not actually streamed them in a very long time. So I want to see how far they've grown since the last time we streamed their matches. There are 2 people right now in the stream, and no one is interacting with me in the comments right now, so nothing much is happening. And then it's 10:04. There's 6 minutes left until there's a disqualification for Crimson Era. Is this how Crimson Era are gonna go down? Not even fighting, just losing by plain attendance. That is not exactly a very good way to go down. I was really looking forward to a fight. I was looking forward to something that's gonna involve the 2 teams clashing. And I really want to play with the sound a little bit, because I really want to do some sound testing. So you guys are gonna have to, since no one is here on the chat, I'm gonna do some adjustments. While I do testing on my end. So I'm probably gonna say anything for a while. You're gonna have to bear with me for a while. Okay, it seems like the sound is actually pretty good on my end. I just listened to it myself. I watched my stream just now, so I'm just going to okay, Torika says is here. Okay, so it seems like the sound is actually pretty good. I just watched the Jiraiya coming in, the leader for Crimson Era. I can see Gaius in here already. I'm just gonna throw in an invite to the leader on that end. Yeah, Carl is actually very good. I listened to it. I just watched it myself. So Crimson Era are already making their move here. They only have 4 minutes until disqualification. I don't know if the refs are watching this, because Obito and Kaz really need to be active here. That the refs, they need to make sure that the rules are being abided to. So this is something that oh, okay, Nepan says he doesn't have YT bundle, so he can support me. Alright, no problem, Nepan. Nepan is actually a good friend of mine. Fisayo, he's someone that I'm close to in real life, and also in game as well. So I can see Crimson Era Ronin in here as well. Gaius, I'll be interacting with you guys. I really want to interact with you guys. But now both teams are evened out on their attendance. I mean, we've got 4 members for Sotei, 4 members for Crimson Era. So if they get to a point, 3 minutes until DQ, but then again, who's going to be disqualified? Will they just nullify the game 1? That's up to the refs to interpret this. But Crimson Era, no, will win by attendance as Hero makes a show. Ronin, Jiraiya, Kuro Sensei, and Gaius for Crimson Era. So they are still missing that final member. Hopefully it's not going to implicate them, and hopefully it's not going to put them in a dangerous position, because they were actually the punctual ones, the ones to come first into this game. And it will be a sad thing if they actually lose by attendance, being the punctual ones. It will be actually quite ironic. So right now 7 people in the chat. The tension is brewing. People are really looking forward to the semis, and MC isn't here yet. Okay, MC is here already. I can see him from Sotei Kishidan. He said MC no duo. Well, Sam Ebros I'm guessing I actually know you, Sam Ebros from DT. So glad to have you back on the live chat. We saw you play yesterday. Okay, finally they have their final member staying from Sotei Kishidan. Finally they won't actually lose by attendance. I'm glad the semi-finals is actually going to be played. For a sec there I almost thought they were actually going to be disqualified, Crimson Era, but then again they made a show for it, and that's a good thing. So there is Obito. There is Obito right there from the one of the refs. That's one of the refs. Obito and Favorcast are the refs, and then MC and Jiraiya. Oh, MC actually spoke for Sotei Kishidan being the leader, says Iritel and Beatrix. They're really going for Marksman lobby bans. Wow, that is definitely something. Marksman lobby bans. Okay, so Jiraiya needs to respond for Crimson Era. He's their leader, and responds with a Hayabusa and a Lucas. A very valuable takedown, really trying to split the lanes here. Rather than just encompassing your bans in just one lane like Sotei Kishidan did with the Irita and the Beatrix ban, just keeping the bans in the gold lane. They're really trying to make sure Crimson Era is really trying to make sure that they spread it a bit with the Jungle and EXP locking down the Hayabusa and the Lucas. I appreciate Jiraiya's thoughtfulness with the lobby bans, really trying to make the most of it right there, reducing the amount of considerations in the draft bans. So we're gonna see some draft bans once Hosho Lantern readies up and we get into the draft phase. But with that being said, I'm going to be engaging the comments while they do their thing over here in the lobby. And you can see Sam Ebro saying they are targeting banning MZ. Well, I do agree with that though, Sam Ebros, because a Beatrix and an Iritel, a Hayabusa and a Lucas ban is something that Jiraiya must have thought about. This is someone that has watched Sotei Kishidan play, probably, and someone that probably has done his due research on the players and probably looked at their profile and studied them. Jiraiya is not just coming from a place of guess or a place of popular picks. That I'm pretty sure he's coming from a place of enlightened and and knowledge. And then we can see we're already here in the draft, and ULE will make the first ban for Sotei Kishidan. It needs to make the most of it. There are a lot of options here. Sicilian is available, but locks down the Gato instead. A Sicilian is available. Will Crimson Era lock down the Sicilian? A Tammuz is still available. They still haven't targeted Hosho Lantern's signature pick there. And then Ronin will respond for the ban for Crimson Era. Needs to make sure that he doesn't lose a quality option. Oh, takes down the Hanzo instead. And I realized that Crimson Era are really trying to focus ban assassins here. The Hayabusa has been taken down in the lobby already, and then they're now taking down a Hanzo, even though that's actually a very nice takedown. They take down the maiden, the vampire maiden herself, Camilla, trying to really restrict Jiraiya's options here, because I love the fact that Sotei Kishidan are just niche banning right now. In the lobby, they niche ban in the gold lane, whereby we had an Irita and a Beatrix ban, and then right now in the draft they are niche banning in the room, whereby we have a Camilla and a Gato ban. So really try to niche ban right there, Sotei Kishidan. And then we also got trying to split the lanes as Crimson Era have always done, a Hanzo and a Melissa takedown, just like they also split lanes in the lobby bans as well, with the Hayabusa there and the Lucas. And then Equalizer will make the first pick. Sicilian is open. Justin is open. You can make a pick on that. These are very valuable picks. But Dank is available, but no, locks down the Arcane Master Valer with the power of flames. And then Gaius will lock down. Gaius, I really think Gaius should take. Oh no, takes down the Wild Oat Feast herself. Wow, the wielder of the ancient strength, Masha. Well, I really want to see what Gaius wants to do against Equalizer here, because the thing with Masha is once Masha loses one of her HP bars, she can remove the CC on her and negate an instance of damage. So I don't know if he's gonna take advantage of that, but then again, Jiraiya will respond to the niche banning of Sotei Kishidan by locking down the Florine. Not even going for a tank here. Really trying to provide as much regen and healing as possible. But I think an Angela would have been better in this situation. But then again, let's not talk too early. Let's give them a chance to see the how Sotei Kishidan will respond to this. Sotei Kishidan has Tammuz available. Osholantan could take down the Tammuz right now, because right now he doesn't have much options other than that, because it's kind of what he does in tournament matches. That's kind of what he plays most of the time. But ULE will take down the Agile Tiger from the Kadian Riverlands 1-1. And Ronin responds to that with the Alpha pick. A very valuable pick, trying to get as much true damage in as possible against this Tammuz, because the Grand Lava grants him a lot of regen and a lot of sustain. So true damage is actually a very good way to go. And then Hero will respond with the final ban. MCL still hasn't taken down. There's still some options you could actually go for. There's no jungler here or Roma, but the Fredrin, the Psycho Fredrin, Kenpachi's signature pick will be locked down away from Sotei Kishidan, and Sotei Kishidan will respond to that as we're locking down the Lui. Wow, that's actually a very valuable pick. Sam Ebros, your signature pick is gone, and then you can see Kuro Sensei from Crimson Era. We're gonna respond to that. There's still other options for mages other than Jusin is available. Sicilian is available. You could take that. I mean, you could actually go. You could actually go for that. That could actually make a very good impact in the game. A Sicilian could have had good crowd control, but no, locks down the Monarch of Light, the Arbiter of Light from the Monian Empire, a member of the Forsaken Light, Xavier. A very good pick there. You're trying to get the Mystic Field and the Transcendent state. And then we got the Vessel of Dryad Stain, trying to lock down the Belric here, trying to provide some CC and support, some frontline support for his jungler. MCL still going with the Julian here. Nothing much has changed for Sotei Kishidan in their lineup. But Kuro Sensei will respond to that with CC. I still think there's still some other picks that would have been better. I still think a Sicilian would have been better in this kind of lineup, especially in a situation whereby he's available and he's meta. And then Jusin will also provide some very good crowd control. But Jusin, I don't really know how well Jusin will do, because you've got a 1-1. A 1-1 can remove CC with the S2. And then you've got Valet, can also remove CC with his ultimate Vengeance Flames. So you can actually, really counter a Jusin there with the Valet and the 1-1 pick. I think they were trying to counterpick that. I don't really know if that was Sotei Kishidan intentions. But then again, we'll lock down the Masha. Oh, they swapped already. So yeah, that's a very good pick right there with the Claude. Trying to get as much mobility as possible, because that's actually what they're lacking in their team. There's not really a very lot of mobility in Crimson Era's team. But then again, that's the draft. I'm gonna be engaging the comments and see what you guys think about this draft. So MC locked down the Julian. Honestly, it's not that shocking for me, Sam Ebros. It's not that shocking for me, really, because he has actually played the Julian in the last in the last game. There was a game we streamed that he played Julian in one of the matches. But then again, what's more shocking is that they had the option to go for a Sicilian, and they didn't go for it. I mean, what were both teams thinking? A Sicilian wasn't banned neither in the lobby nor in the draft, and he still wasn't picked. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, you guys are in the comments right now. What do you guys think about that? Why do you think they made a why do you think they made a decision not to pick the Sicilian? That would have been a very good crowd control and a lot of magic damage they missed out on. Wow, Osholantan really trying to support MC here. The junglers are doing their early game thing. Oh, part of the Izumaki clan there, MC. Trying to wait for the creep to spawn, but then again on the other end, Ronin will do the same, starting with the bubble ball, but then there's the pause from one of the refs. So in the meantime, while we wait for 2 minutes for the game to be unpaused, we am going to be engaging the comments. Wow. So Lawrence Jr. says, yeah, well, I can actually engage that, because that's just a statement that can actually be engaged. And someone says Tammuz and Hilda for Hush. Yes, if a Tammuz is not available, Hosholantan would actually go for a Hilda. That's pretty much the only two things he mostly shows us in the tournament matches. So I don't really know if he has other things in store that he doesn't just like to use. But then again, yes, Sam Ebros, you know him well. He's someone that doesn't really have that much options when it comes to his experience picks. But there's the pause from one of the refs, and we're gonna be going back straight into the game. Ronin, oh, is that a network issue? Let's hope that isn't, because this is the semi-finals. You really don't want any other issues there. Yeah, 2-trick wonder, some Ebros. I agree with that. I agree. I want to call it a 1-trick though. Gaius there with the art of thievery, and then ULE they're really trying to release the swallow dart, revealing the weakness of Gaius. Will that be enough? There's an early game trade here. The art of thievery right there from Gaius, trying to farm the gold crab and trying to get as much gold as early as possible, but the lethal contest is lost by Ronin on the early game. MC really trying to farm the creeps here, trying to get assistance from Sting. You don't get to level 4 as much as possible. Julian can really get snowball. It can really snowball in the early game, so they really need to be careful. That's the second pause from the refs. I mean, what's going on here? I think they've used up their pause from one of the teams. What's really happening? They're not really telling me. They're not really talking to me. But I want to believe that one of the teams are really the one asking for this pause, because this is 2 pauses within the space of how many minutes? We really need to really need to look into that. I really hope one of the refs have a good reason for this. So I'm gonna be engaging the comments while the game is still paused. I'm gonna be engaging the comments. So Arcane Sniper says Sotei has better draft. More of I want to call it a comfort draft. I don't want to call it a better draft. I want to call it a comfort draft. Now that doesn't mean that I'm going against what you said. That doesn't mean I'm saying you're wrong. No, I'm calling it a comfort draft because this is what they normally go for. We see Hush on Itamus most of the time. We see MC goes for Julian usually when times are kind of getting pretty rough and all that, and it gets pretty unsure. MC is not his first time playing Julian, and Stain as well. Actually I think Stain is quite someone I haven't actually seen play. But ULE with the 1-1, that's definitely someone I want to take a good look into. I mean, the crossbow of Tang is a very good ultimate for the 1-1 there, especially getting that battle spell right compared to a member of one of the teams that played the other time in the Rookies tournament that used an Aegis. So getting that inspired there, really trying to get as much attack speed as possible once she becomes untargetable while using the crossbow of Tang. So I really want to take a good look, and I really want to monitor this 1-1 while she's doing her thing, especially in the early game laning against Gaius, the Claude. And then the Claude also has some options here. I mean, with the Blazing Duet and the Vengeance there. So there's a good, but then again, he has already used the Vengeance in the early game, and they're really trying to win trade here. Ooh, trying to get away as quick as possible. Then again, Gaius will get ganked. Ooh, gets taunted there, but out of thievery, ULE to a diving. Is that a wise decision? But Gaius will get the first blood thanks to the thanks to the turret assistance. That was a dangerous move. I don't know if ULE had network issues there, but then again, try to catch up with the minions with the Tiger pace. Then let's shift the camera a bit to MZ here on the mid lane. Both junglers already on level 4. The stream is here. The Mystic Field with the immobilization. Running, trying to look for an opening there. MZ using the sword out of caution. A very brilliant move. If he had engaged, that probably wouldn't have been a very good situation to be in. But then again, that's a molten sky from Hosho Lantern, not willing to commit to that. He's outnumbered in that situation. Ronin looking for a good opening against Hosho Lantern here. And EX Villainer doing what an EX Villainer should. But the Mystic Field will come in. There's the enhanced sword. Joshua Lantern. There's a contest right there for the turtle. But then again, Jiraiya can't really do much. Ronin getting in a dangerous position there. There's a force swing from this one, using the spell of Alpha defensively, but gets taken down by Equalizer. There's a Mystic Light from Hero. That was not really a very good engagement right there from Ronin. There's not really a very good frontliner for Crimson Era. Ronin is forced to really contest on his own here. I think that's one of the things that Sotei Kishidan has as an advantage over Crimson Era, because right now Sotei Kishidan has a very good frontliner, has 2 good frontliners actually, a Thamus and a Belric. So that's actually very, very solid. And on the side of Crimson Era, I can't really say the same, because a Masha is kind of a late game thing before she becomes a very solid frontliner. But then again, let's hope Kuro Sensei knows what he's doing with a Petrify here, because a Petrify on a Masha, I don't really know how well that works. I don't really know how well that works. So let's give them a benefit of that, and let's really hope that Crimson Era knows what they are doing here, because they really need to make this work somehow, especially in the mid to early game. It's an engagement right there from Ronin. Oh, there's a blazing duet from Gaius, not willing to commit to that, make the same mistake that ULE did in the early games. That made him the first blood. And then again, there's another engagement right there. MC, a 3-man pincer strategy on this side, trying to cut the lanes here. Hustle Lantern trying to be the bait right there with the multi side, trying to cut the lane. Ronin will go in with the Spear of Alpha on the Hustle Lantern, but then again, there's the second bar. The Asian strength cannot keep up with this damage as this Julian takes the first blood. Equalizer taking that kill from Hustle Lantern there, as there is a successful lane cut from Sotei Kishidan. Right now, they're just bullying thanks to Gaius taking so much damage from ULE, but will get away just before that could become lethal and his weaknesses could be marked. But MC gets a second free turtle for Sotei Kishidan. There's not really much of a contest here because, like I said, the front line thing is still approaching them, but then again, there's the invasion of jungle as Jiraiya goes down. This Julian is really riding on his early game advantage. Damn, Echo in a dangerous position right there, but Ashen stacks on him from the Valer. Able to get away, but, just so close enough. Then again, this 1-1 is not relenting, ULE, but this Claude is very stealthy and slippery on the gold lane. But will that be enough against this 4-man gang? Trying to reveal the weakness right there. Gets away. Gaius still maneuvering in this situation, but it's a 4-man gang there. Gets away from the Wrath of Dyrad, but not enough to get away from his counterpart on the gold lane. Well, to be fair, that wasn't actually a very good, easy thing that you could actually escape from. Gaius tried. In Gaius' defense, that wasn't, a very fair gank on his end. But then again, you can see Hustle Lantern taking advantage of, his counterpart's absence on the EXP lane. Really trying to push the turret here. Staying, really coming in to support Hustle Lanterns there. But then again, Equalizer will try to push it a little bit, trying to apply the stacks of Ashen on Echo here. Equalizer, really trying to clear the minions, and then there's not really much they can do right now. Crimson Era are really playing it defensive because that's what they can do. Jiraiya, I don't really know about that Florian pick, but there's the blessing duet from Gaius. They're trying to engage right here, but the weaknesses have been marked. ULE trying to fight the weakness, but vengeance will be used. Gaius really trying to bait him, trying to make him desperate to make the same mistake he made in the early game. I really love the fact that Gaius knows when to pull out of the fight. That's something that, a marksman really should know. And that's something that really keeps him alive and really makes sure that, there is hope for his teammates in the late game. But the turtle will spawn one more time on the gold lane. I don't really see a rendezvous here from ULE. Oh, there's the Tiger Pace trying to catch up and assist his jungler here. The turtle will come in. MC is really trying to make sure that he takes this turtle, and there's little or no competition on the other hand. And then they're trying for an invade here. Also, Lantern is, I don't really know, man. I don't really know. Crimson Era right now are not really, playing it, offensive. That really a lot of pressure is out of Tivri from Gaius. ULE, but the blazing duet will be used wrongly. Not enough time trying to mark the weaknesses right now. Gaius trying to bait ULE into the turret, but that's not really working out for him as the ultimate has already been used, but Ronin will come in to support the 4-man gank on the gold lane, trying to return the favor that Gaius was handed to in the early game. Wow, it's a 4-man gank, and then again, it will come in oblivious to it, but Gaius will, there's one more weaknesses to be marked. The crossbow of tank isn't ready until all those weaknesses are marked. Gaius really trying to farm the minions here, really making sure that works, but MC will push the mid lane. So Kishidan knows that at that point in time, that was just a delay strategy, that really invading the jungle and pushing the other lanes instead, rather than waiting. But Crimson Era really has no hold in this game right now. It's crazy, but somehow that front line thing is really working so well. Trying to apply as much stacks of Ashen as possible, Equalizer, and then we can see that Hustle Lantern is also trying to focus on the clear the waves and ignore the fight. But the blazing duet will come from Gaius. really trying to defend this lane at all costs, avoids getting taunted, but then again the action will not get to him as Dryer pops that ultimate, trying to revitalize and regenerate the HP. ULE really trying to fight the crossbow of tank here. Equalizer already have HP with Stain. Really trying to apply the stacks of Ashen, really trying to slow and apply that CC. They're really trying to get the tier 1 of the gold lane so they can push all the lanes while they take the Lord. The Lord spawns in the next 5 seconds. MC already trying to rendezvous with Hustle Lantern and Equalizer there. Hustle Lantern really trying to give vision on the Lord area like an EXP should, but he should be careful though. Ronin will be getting ready for him, not willing to commit to that, but the force swing will be missed from Ronin. Stain really trying to zone them out like a Roma should, trying to give vision. Equalizer trying to support him as well. Echo will lose the transcendent state on the Xavier as MC starts the Lord. Wow, this jungler isn't really ready yet to start this Lord. I don't really see one, but Gaius will be in a dangerous position. The Rose Gold Meteor comes in to support him, to keep him alive, still defending that tier 1 in the gold lane with his life. It's crazy, but Gaius is not willing to let that go. But MC has already taken the Lord. I think at this point Gaius should forsake that that turret, because he's not getting anywhere with this. Crimson Era are pushing, Crimson Era are losing their objectives. They are losing the objective, and there's one more weakness left, but then again that's the Blazing Duet really trying to push him from advancing any further to get the crossbow of tank activated. I really think the game here is you only just want to take out Gaius and then just push that tier 1 on the gold lane. He really just wants that tier 1 on the gold lane to go down. Right now, Sotei Kishidan are not even focused on kills anymore. They've realized that Crimson Era are just playing it safe, and they're just really trying to just delay the game so that they can catch up in the gold lead. Because right now there's an 8k gold lead and there's a 4 kill lead from the side of Sotei Kishidan. It's crazy, but they're actually winning this top. Also Lantern in a dangerous position here, but Ronin misses the Spear of Alpha. Wow, there's not really much hope right now for Crimson Era. It's not looking so good for them right now. I think that flooring pick is really getting to them. That frontliner thing is not working so well. Masha really trying to get it. Oh, there's the Ancient Straight, removing the Ashen stacks and the CC that comes with it. But then again, she will regenerate 1 stack of her HP bar again. ULE really trying to use the swallow that right now. The crossbow of tank isn't available yet, but it goes down just before it could be triggered. I think ULE needs to work on triggering the weaknesses faster. Gaius will get trapped by the Mystic Field, and then Stain in a dangerous position here. The stacks of Ashen. Xavier really needs to get out of there. They're almost losing their tier 2 on the mid lane. Sotei Kishidan are really pushing. They are really trying to end this game as fast as possible. Really want to ride on their momentum they have right now before they make any funny mistakes that will make them lose it. MZ not really willing to engage Ronin right here on the jungle. Really not trying to invade, not trying to overextend so that he won't be punished. The guy is still defending his lane by all means possible. But then again, at this point, Gaius really isn't really motivated as much to defend. You can see Sotei Kishidan here really rendezvous, really trying to meet up right now and defend as a group. Aero Sensei trying to check the bushes, but then again, that will be a very costly one if I extend at this point. It might not live to tell. Gaius really needs to push at this point, but he's unsure of their positioning. But there's a 4-man strategy coming in here as they're trying to zone Crimson Era out from this coming Lord. It's not really looking good for them right now. Ronin will take the buff. Oh, there's a Mystic Light right there from the Xavier with the Wishing Lantern. Really trying to reduce the stack. So Kishidan already taking the Lord. There's little or no contest on this Lord. Right now, it's not looking so good for Crimson Era. There's little or no hope for them right now. I really want to see a turnaround. But with this kind of 8k gold lead and 3 kill lead, ooh, Stain already finding that taunt right there. But popping the Vengeance, was that a mistake? Or was that just a bait for them to engage? MC, already trying to farm here with the Lord approaching on the other end, and ULE trying to clear the lanes right now. Gaius coming in to defend, but unfortunately I think he's giving up finally on defending his lane. I think right now they just want to stay together and just really want to see what's left of their tower, their base they can defend against. Osho Lantern really playing it passively in this match. 0 kills, 0 deaths. Oh, there's the Vengeance Flames used on Equalizer a little too early. Really trying to make sure that they don't defend against this their inhibitor. Really trying to get as much Ashen stacks as possible. But will that backfire? Hopefully that doesn't, because that Purify, gets taunted right there, running in a dangerous position, but uses the Spear of Alpha in a defensive mode. They're really playing it safe here. No team is willing to commit. Right now, any unnecessary plays could be detrimental to your team's success or your team's first match. Right? It's not looking so good. Both teams are not willing to commit to any engagement. They just want to poke, clear, just want to macro manage, wave manage, and just make sure that we preserve the gold lead. The gold lead right now is 10k. There's a 10k gold lead for Sotei Kishidan, and there is a 3-kill lead. So it's clear that the goal right now is not the kills. It's clear that right now what they are just trying to do is to make sure that Crimson Era don't get a single objectives, that the waves are constantly in their favor and they get the lords and they eventually secure the game. Because if Sotei Kishidan keeps getting the lords, eventually Crimson Era are gonna win. So right now it's going to be a game of waiting. It's the waiting game at this point. They're really trying to wait it out. They know that, okay, Crimson Era not willing to commit to a fight. Gaius will try to overextend right now. Gets marked with the staff of Ashen, but then again, we'll get out of there thanks to Claude's mobility. But then again, that they're really trying to wait it out at this point. They know that, even if you don't want to commit to us in a fight, because you obviously know that we're going to win, we're ahead in the gold lead, we're going to, macro manage and wave manage and force you guys to actually, we're going to force you guys to actually clear and just be on the defensive until the end of the match. But it's unfortunate because there's actually a very good strategy that Sotei Kishidan doesn't actually know about, which is actually called wave freezing. Because if Sotei Kishidan actually knows how to wave freeze efficiently, they're going to force Crimson Era members to come out and clear the lanes, and then they could bait them and they could actually take them out and force them to commit to a fight. But unfortunately, this strategy is not known by Sotei Kishidan clearly, as they're clearing every single waves that come, here. So in times like this, wave freezing is a very important thing that could actually help, you to win the game. Okay, so Kishidan gets another easy lord, and right now they're just trying to do the macro management right now. Gaius really trying to push the tier 1 on gold lead, but that will be a dangerous one. He really needs to get back to the base. Osho Lantern really trying to make sure that the waves are still in his advantage here, trying to get that movement speed boost from the molten sky. But then again, I think he should be right now should be focused on clearing rather than actually trying to engage, or rather than just moving around aimlessly. You've got something to clear. The Lord will advance from the EXP lane, and we actually need to see them do their thing. And I'm gonna be looking at the comments. I'm gonna see what you guys are thinking. So someone says Stain is good. Okay, I actually haven't seen him play. Right now I'm seeing him play, so yeah, they're trying to take the inhibitor right here, but that's actually quite dangerous right now. Using the sword defensively. The Lord will advance. I think this is game 1 for Sotei Kishidan. Right now it's not looking so good for them. Osho Lantern, I think this is going to be the first engagement right now, but this Valet is releasing a lot of CC on them, really trying to prevent them from defending. I think once this Lord advances into their base, I think they're going to end this. The mark with the stacks of Ashen, but Arrow is forced to flicker out of there as Osho Lantern moves in for the finish, but will get pushed out with the Spear of Alpha. But Sotei Kishidan takes game 1. Wow, that was I think that was just defensive from the beginning till the end. And like I said, it was a waiting game, and it was it was a waiting game, so that game wasn't really much to look forward to. Gaius did so well with the defending and the laning, so I really want to see what Crimson Era, how they're going to respond to this. I want to see how they're going to make a comeback, because this is the same team that has had consecutive victories for up to this point. So hopefully this is not where their journey their dream ends. This is not where they're going to suffer a crushing defeat. I believe that Crimson Era can actually make a comeback and can actually learn from their mistakes here with the picks and their draft. So Sotei Kishidan actually had a better draft, and they took advantage of it, and they realized that Crimson Era was playing the waiting game, and they decided to play it as well, avoiding unnecessary confrontations and commitments to fights that could cost them game 1, and they won the game. So with that being said, it's a best of 3 for the semi-finals. Only the finals is a best of 5. I'm going to be engaging the comments. I'm going to know what you guys think about the first match. Do you think Crimson Era can take the second match, or do you think Sotei Kishidan are going to win a 2-0 crushing defeat? So with that being said, let me know in the comments, guys. I'm going to be engaging you guys right now while they set up the things in the players in the lobby. Okay, so someone says make we shall win unless you go pay me. Okay, Jordan, I don't really know if you're a Crimson Era member or you're a Sotei Kishidan member. So Yami says 2-0. Wow. Well, there's not really much supporters here for Crimson, is there? So Jordan says, Jordan now pred disease, where you go? Okay, so I'm gonna wait for them to set up. I don't really know. The refs are not really inviting me right now. I don't really know whether they're arranging things on the other end. But then again, someone says yes, most definitely. Okay, I don't actually know what you're talking about there. Lawrence says hopefully you'd win. Wow. Okay. So said at Sotei, Lawrence says at Sotei Kishidan we play aggressive. Yeah, but I agree with you there, Lawrence. But if you observed, this time around, Sotei Kishidan were kind of intelligent. They realized that Crimson Era were not willing to engage them in a frontline fight. I don't think there was. I think there was only one team fight in that entire in this game that was just played. I think there was only one single team fight, and the rest were just random skirmishes. Let me just call them skirmishes, okay? Because Sotei Kishidan realized that, oh, these guys know that they don't have a front line, and they know that they're gonna win, they're gonna lose if they engage us full on, especially when we have a 10k gold lead. So right now they're just trying to play the waiting game with us. And hey, we occasionally sending out guys to do the clearing for the gold lane and the defense, but they weren't willing to delay the game unnecessarily. They were just focused on macro management and objective securing, and that was what secured them the game. So unfortunately, Sotei Kishidan understood that, and unfortunately for Crimson, their game plan or their strategy to win that first match was not as efficient, and they lost. But like I said, it's not the end. We've seen situations whereby a team would lose the first one and win the remaining 2 matches. It happened with Hao. It happened with it happened with some other teams, and it happens with Celestials, right? It happened with Celestials. So against DT. So this is something that has been happening in the tournament. Okay, Jiraiya will invite me. Okay, there's the invitation. So it happened there. So with that being said, I'm back in the lobby, and right now there's not really much of an engagement. I think right now a lot of people are really just supporting Sotei Kishidan at this point, and there's not really many lots of support coming in for Crimson Era, sadly. But let's see how this game. I really hope that the second match is going to be something spiced, because if you notice, usually when I'm doing commentary, I normally shout. My voice gets, the tone of my voice increases when there is a very engaging and interesting team fight going on. But in this last match, I didn't even increase the tone of my voice at all. I was just talking normally, and well, because there was not really much going on. It was just a waiting game. So I want to see how the second match is going to turn out, and hopefully we get to see something more interesting. Okay, let's look at the lobby bans here. You can see the second ref isn't offline, isn't online. Wow. So it's only Favor Cars here. Favor Cars right trying to ref here, and we said the bans. Favor Cars has demanded the bans, so we're gonna be seeing the bans right now from both teams. Jiraiya will respond on behalf of Crimson Era. You can see a Julian takedown. Wow, a Julian takedown is actually very good, because Julian actually dominated them in the earliest game, and he kind of rode on that advantage he had. So that's actually something that in the still Sotei Kishidan still keeping their band's niche as possible here, with the Irite and the Beatrix, nothing really much changing. But then again, a Julian ban, I really want to see how MZ is going to respond to the Julian ban. Right now, he has a Hayabusa available. That's the effect. Hopefully, Hayabusa doesn't get taken down in the draft, unless we're going to be seeing, probably, the marksman Gaius will probably have more of a tougher time in the second match. But let's see how that goes. MC needs to ready up so that we can get straight into it. I really hope tomorrow's match is gonna be, a lot more engaging, because two teams, How is actually playing tomorrow, so a lot of How fanboys and a lot of How, people are gonna be on the stream. So you know how that goes. Okay, so there's the drafts, and we see Crew Sensei here. Crew Sensei here has a lot of options. Like I always perform my analysis when it comes to draft picking, because I like to make you guys understand that draft is not just a picking. It's not just a pick a hero you want, ban any hero you don't like, or ban any hero that gives you difficulty. There's actually some level of mind game that goes on in the draft, and if your team actually gets that draft right, you can actually win. Your team stands a better chance to win the game. Looking down a Gato they're really making. And see, Sotei Kishidan is a very, very simple thing to understand. They're just a one pattern team. Once they find something that works for them, they keep to it. Sotei Kishidan locked down an Irritated and a Beatrix in the lobby ban in the last game. They did the same thing right now. They locked down a Gato as their first draft ban. They're doing the same right now. They're really, making their bans niche. I think they're going to take down a Camilla next. They're probably going to take down another Roma. But no, Hoshulanta misses out on his ban. But Jiraiya now has options. A Camilla is available for him to pick. A Hylos is available. Hopefully, he doesn't make that same mistake and locks down something that is going to be more problematic for his team. Probably, moves Arrow. Arrow leaves the Xavier and goes with the Kimi instead. I really hope that's a wise decision. I really hope that decision is not going to cost them for the second, because if Crimson Era loses this match, then they are officially out of the Rookies tournament, and Sotei Kishidan will advance to the finals on Friday. So it's not actually nice. Equalizer will go in. ULE going for the Melissa. Wow, that Melissa is finally available. They took down the Valer. So it's a either you go for this, pick your poison kind of situation. Jordan will lock down the Camilla, preventing Jiraiya from locking down the vampire maiden with the curse of blood, and then Crow Sensei will respond to that, and Ronin, their jungler as well. So it's funny because Lawrence, you say Crimson isn't versatile. It's kind of right now. What you're doing is a situation. There's a statement I want to use for you. Is Porto calling kettle black? Is Pot calling kettle black? Because Sotei Kishidan are actually the most niche squad I've ever seen. They are kind of one pattern, and like Sam Ebro says, two trick ponies. Most of them here, because Hosho Lantern basically only plays Hatamus. You saying Crimson Era are the non-versatile ones is actually a very, very far cry from the reality, because Sotei Kishidan are like not even trying to shift from what they would normally go for in tournaments. We see them use the same things exhaustingly enough. So yeah, so that's that about that. We can see Jiraiya locking down the Akai. Wow, that's a very good pick. They finally have a frontliner for Crimson Era. I really love that. But then again, an Akai against a Melissa. Jiraiya, I don't really know, how well you want to execute that, because Melissa's go away is going to prevent you from, really approaching her. I know you are immune to CC, but then again, you're not going to be able to enter into, the bubble, the magic bubble, and then Equalizer as well. I really want to see how Jiraiya makes this work, though. I really want to see how he does. So, they lock down the Hayabusa. Well, the lockdown in Hayabusa, Sotei Kishidan with Hosho Lantern. I think Hosho Lantern is going to lock down the Tamus. There's not really anything new there. Sotei Kishidan still being the most niche squad, in the entire tournament. And Kuro Sensei with Gaius finally with the. I really think that if they wanted to go for an Ixia. I think Jiraiya should have gone for something more synergy, like something more synergistic with Ixia's ultimate, the full-on barrage, because an Atlas or somebody like a Tigreal wouldn't be able to get in, but an Atlas gains a control immunity, so his control immunity would actually work well against Melissa's go away. MC will lock down the Psycho Fredrin. Finally, the appraiser from Los Pecados is back online. Let's hope he can really make the most of this pick like Kempachi did in the match yesterday, with Hao. And then we also got finally switch to the retribution here before that could actually cause them a redraft. But we'll be back into the game. I'm going to be engaging the comments while the game is loading. So someone says if it works, don't. If it ain't broke, yeah. If it works, it ain't broke. But that doesn't mean that you're gonna keep sleeping on the same pick over and over again. It gets pretty boring with time, and your opponent, obviously you don't expect them to keep losing to the same trick. Eventually they're gonna find a medicine for you. So it says Akai will push back Up's backline on Camilla's ult, but that's restrictive thinking considering all. Yes, actually that's actually restrictive thinking. I did say it that I don't know how Jiraiya is gonna use the heavy spin against Melissa's go away. I don't know how that's gonna work, but I really want to see how he executes it here. I want to believe that he has a contingency plan, or the Melissa isn't even his focus at all. It's possible that his focus is this Fredrin or this Tammuz. So with that being said, let's see how well Ronin performs, because Ronin actually didn't do well with the Alpha compared to Terror on the Alpha. Terror on the Alpha was an absolute menace. So I don't know if Ronin learned a thing or two from him, if he watched him on the stream, but let's hope he did. And there's a second chance for Crimson Era as we get into game 2 of the semi-finals. Then we got Ronin right here where the junglers do their thing. Like as usual, I'm going to be engaging the comments. So, okay, there's no new comments for me to engage. So we're just going to get straight back into the game. We can see Hosho Lantern already in here. Oh, Kuro Sensei, there's a very early game, trade here. There's not really much going on. They're really trying to wait it out. Really trying to, one person trying to zone out here, but CC always wins situations like this. But then again, there's the Grand Lord Lava from Hosho Lantern. Really trying to clear the lanes using the Molten Sky to push the minions closer to him. But Kuro Sensei will take advantage. Meanwhile, on the jungle, the lethal, there's a contest. Then again, Jiraiya not willing to come in. Ronin, wins that retry battle. I guess not everyone is like T-Rex. Wow, that's actually, that's actually very solid. That's not everyone is like Empachi's counterpart in yesterday's game. That guy was very good with retribution. He's not that good with the kills, but he's actually good with retribution. Jiraiya really trying to support Gaius on the gold lane here. I don't think Gaius needs support right now. GLE or ULE already trying to delinking here, trying to deal enough damage to Gaius, but the force swing will be used, trying to get the Stalom Siphon for that regen on the Ixia. But then again, there's already the level 4 on MC. We're looking for an opening here. Both teams not willing to commit, but Jordan will come in like a Roma should. But then again, Jordan using the revitalize already. Jiraiya flickering out of that situation. MC not having enough combo points, but the Spear of Alpha is missed by Ronin. MC 2 combo points already, 3. Not enough for the first round. Will be taken by ULE. There's 4 combo points with the Appraiser's Wrath coming in from MC as it goes down. Gaius taking so much damage. Hero trying to support from the other end, but will that be counterproductive? Yes, it is, but he gets out before that could become lethal. Meanwhile, on the EXP lane, Kuro Sensei almost falling to the Molten Skies. Hosho Lantern still dominating with his signature pick here as Crimson Era falls back in the early games like they did in the first match. Wow, this isn't looking good. So the Kishidan are still taking the early games like they did. Jiraiya almost getting that heavy spin, already getting the heavy spin, but then again there's the pull back from Jiraiya as he uses the heavy spin to push MC out, give and roll in a good Oh, Jiraiya in a dangerous position right now. Ronin not willing to engage. They need to disengage. The objective has been taken. There's no point in unnecessarily engaging right now, but ULE is pressuring Gaius so much on the gold lane. It's crazy because in the last game, we saw Gaius really trying his best with the Claude against the 1-1, and ULE really struggling with the Agile Tiger. But the contrary is the situation right now, and on the gold lane. And I think using Ixia against ULE, especially since Ixia doesn't actually have a mobility skill compared to Melissa's Falling, which is a S1. That's actually something that ULE is gonna take advantage of in this gold lane. But Jiraiya is here to make sure that doesn't escalate on the gold lane. But then again, ULE is really trying to take advantage of that passive, trying to deal as much damage. But then that's full-on barrage from ULE as he uses Falling to get out of there before that could become lethal. Jiraiya, there's a cost of blood from the Camilla right now, not willing to use the heavy spin, already using the heavy spin, but a little too late as MC gets that Appraiser's Wrath, uses it but not able to take out Hero on the jungle. Jordan really trying to engage right there, but there's a cut lane from Hosho Lantern. Really need to get back to his lanes before that could become lethal. Gaius almost gets taken down by ULE as he gets a killing spree on the gold lane. It's a brutal team fight right now. It's a brutal one-on-one on the other end. Trying to look for combo points. Right, this is 2-man spell of Alpha coming in, but Ronin will just sign his burial on that move as he goes down. That wasn't really that wasn't a wise move, because that was just when the Tosu was about to spawn, and as a jungler, you don't have any business engaging when an objective is about to be available. You really do, because right now, who is going to secure the objective for them? Because before you come back, before you rendezvous with your teammates, they would have taken the objective, and even your Roma can't even help you at this point. MC already takes the turtle, but the heavy spin is useless, because even if Jiraiya had gotten that heavy spin, there's still no retribution to help them with that. So I really hope Ronin is gonna learn from his lessons. Jordan will come in to support Hosho Lantern on the XP lane. There's the invade from Ronin. Is this really a wise move? But then he's trying to use the spell of Alpha to pull the creep out. That was an IQ move from Ronin. I really like that move he made. Trying to use the spell of Alpha right there to invade and push it out before that could become lethal. But Echo on this Kimi right now steals the lethal from Hosho Lantern. Is that a good thing? We'll get to know. MC really trying to rendezvous right now, trying to support Gaius, who gets taunted right now, trying to get as much combo points as possible, but misses that taunt. Jiraiya not having the heavy spin to support Gaius on the gold lane. It's not really looking good for Crimson Era right now. They're already losing the kill lead, and the gold lead is 1k gold lead already. So Kishidan are already taking the momentum on this game in the early match. And then Jiraiya on the other lanes, we need to see what Gaius is up to here. Trying to gets taken down one more time as Falling and Inspire grants Melissa so much attack speed that Ixia is unable to keep up. I really think this Ixia should really, play it safe. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't know why Gaius is being super aggressive, contrary to his last game when he played the Claude. He knew how to keep ULE at bay from his aggression, but right now, it's really not looking good for him right now. Jiraiya really trying to engage, but then again, ULE still having that ultimate, but dodges the Spear of Alpha with Falling. Wow, even if she had actually gotten caught by the Spear of Alpha, Go Away will still help her get out of that situation. And then we can see a lot of situation here. Gaius really trying to rendezvous right now with his teammate. The turtle has spawned one more time. Let's hope Ronin doesn't make the same mistake he makes. MC not anywhere close, trying to rendezvous, trying to take this turtle here, but not even willing to give MC a chance here. Equalizer still having that Pride of Ice passive. Trying to rotate right now, trying to support, but the mid lane is getting pressured. Still looking for an opening right now. ULE still pressuring Gaius on the gold lane here. Ooh, MC looking for that combo point, but will he get it? Wow, being that Psycho Fredrin up front. Wow, it's the cost of blood, but misses the cost of blood. Wow, they're really, Sotei Kishidan are really itching for a fight. But then again, Crimson Era are not willing to give them that fight. Meanwhile, on the gold lane, I can't really say the same because Gaius is being super aggressive. Unfortunately, losing the clashes though, because there's the link up there. But then again, there's the go away to counter the heavy spin from Jiraiya. I mean, we talked about this in the draft, right? We talked about how that was going to be counterproductive for Crimson Era, them locking down the Akai against the Melissa. But then again, someone said that was restrictive thinking. I really hope that this is not going to be the focus of the match. I really hope that Jiraiya is gonna keep up using the to check the bushes is actually a very wise move, but then again, that's the stun. UL using the falling to gain that attack boost. I really hope that the focus of Jiraiya is going to be trying to use the heavy spin on MC so that Ronin gets an easy Lord securing rather than really trying to counter against this Melissa, because that has already proven to be ineffective in execution. So Gaius still getting linked up right there by the Melissa, taking so much damage. Really needs to get out of there before that could become lethal. MC comes into support from the other end. It's a 4-man Prancer strategy on this end, but the full-on barrage will come in as he gets taunted and gets taken down. Jiraiya in a dangerous position as they punish him for walking into that one. Hero MC really trying to find more combo points here. He needs to make sure that he gets that crystal energy and that combo point as the Lord has spawned. Ronin not really doing so well right now, not willing to contest, really needs to farm as all of them are on the Lord right now. So Kishidan knows that right now what matters more are the objectives, and they need to start taking down turrets because Kuro Sensei understands that, but he's not willing to push as contrary to this marksman. This marksman is really dominating her lane. But then again, there's the 4 lane to try and keep some distance between Ronin and herself. Equalizer. Oh, Hero really trying here. But then again, there's the 4 lane trying to take them down. But the crit damages are not enough to take out Hero. Hero flickers out just before that could become lethal. We can see Jiraiya on the other end and Ronin trying to defend against the Slord. But then again, on the other end of the EX Splinter trying to take down the tier 1. But Hosho Lantern uses the Grand Lord Lava to take down the turrets. I mean, what matters more right now is taking down the turrets than the ultimate being available. Gaius supporting Jiraiya and Ronin on the gold lane to take down the Lord before that could become lethal. But right now, it's not looking so good for Crimson Era. They really need to find their momentum back. This is a team that knows what they were doing up till this point, and I really hope that they still have that grip in mind. Jordan really trying to find the cause of blood here, but then again misses out on the cause of blood, only the immobilization, but the full-on barrage will come in. Chaos adjusts with a flicker, but will that be counterproductive as Jordan goes down? So the Kishidan are pushing this right now. They need to retrieve, but the Spirit of Alpha comes in as the Pride of Ice passive is not enough to save Equalizer and it's getting taken down. It's a 2-for-none in favor of Crimson as they find their momentum back, as they find the pushback. Kuro Sensei really trying to take back the minions. I really love the fact that Gaius knew that was a gamble and took the gamble anyways. Kuro Sensei trying to take him out, but Hosho Lantern will engage with the Grand Dot Lava coming in to support MC. Really trying to find the combo points, but not really to find out the vengeance already used by Kuro Sensei, but unfortunately a little too late, a little wasted, a valuable resource wasted on that end for ULE trying to find the perfect opening against this Ixia to gank. But then there's the falling and the link up right there with the go away, trying to prevent physical interaction. But the Spirit Rapper cannot reach with full-on barrage, takes him down, shuts him down as Jiraiya tries to support. Wow, that go away is actually very effective against a lot of them. I can see why Crimson Era locked down the Melissa in the early game draft, in the first match draft. That was right now with how ULE is dominating with this Melissa. It's really a very, very valuable takedown. I still think that Valet ban was not actually worth it. I think a Melissa ban would have been more worth it because right now Equalizer is not actually doing so well on the Aurora. Right now it's just supports right now on the Aurora, and he has been missing a lot of his ultimates recently. But then again, there's the 4K gold lead and there is a 6K lead on the other end, and the waves are the advantage. It also has spawned as well. MC on the other end trying to come in here, trying to rendezvous, trying to support his teammates and return the favor that Ronin did. There's an early game engagement right there. That's the go away from the Melissa. ULE getting picked up. And then Jiraiya will find the heavy spin, trying to give Ronin a clear, but a little too early. Used it a little too early. Right now, there's little of the contest, but then Sotei responds with the cause of blood as 2 members of Crimson Era goes down. And then Kishidan get out, but then again, Jiraiya goes down as well. It's a 3-4-1 in favor. Guys get a double on that end. Jordan really trying to get guys need to get out of there before that could get in, but trying to get as much Sky Siphon as possible. The wind of nature, not enough to keep him alive long enough for him to take down Hustle Lantern and Jordan on the gold lane. Wow, that was actually, I think Jiraiya was too hasty on that end. I think Jiraiya should have calmed down a little bit and, really consider a lot of things. The heavy spin was something I could give them. Oh, gets taken down right there. Hustle Lantern. So Hustle Lantern takes down Hero. So I think if Jiraiya had calmed down a little bit and waited a little bit and just timed it perfectly, just right, and zoned out, MC with the heavy spin, so that he can give Ronin a very good chance to retreat that Lord and give them some slight wave advantage. Right now, the waves are pushing intensely against Crimson Era. So if you can give them a wave advantage, things will have gone differently, right there, or trying to find the combo points right there. But the spell of Alpha will be used defensively, trying to come and support and make sure that doesn't become lethal. But the 4 lane will be used by ULE. Wow. So like I was saying before, I think he got too hasty right there, and I really hope that doesn't cost them, the match. Jiraiya, you can do this. I believe, Akai can work if they execute it properly. Especially when it comes to securing objectives. I'm not actually looking at countering Melissa anymore because it has been proven multiple times to be ineffective, and counterproductive. So right now, what they are looking at is how they can secure objectives with the aid of this Roma's ultimate. So yeah, with that being said, while they are doing the macro management and micromanagement, but this Melissa is not relenting. Takes out Hero, uses the go away, but the full-on barrage used by Gaius adjusts, but is only able to take out they will take out Equalizer, but the Pride of Ice passive kicks in, so Equalizer doesn't actually go down. Wow, for once that Pride of Ice passive actually saved Equalizer in that situation. Wow, Gaius used a very valuable flicker, but a little too late, because I think Gaius should have adjusted his position just, early enough, and he could have taken out ULE. This Melissa is not relenting at all. This Melissa is not giving up. Neither is this Melissa, really making sure that any opportunity that she sees. Oh, there's this recall spam right there. I don't know if Focus is seeing this, but Sotei Kishidan really needing that spam. The Roma is AFK, but I'm gonna give them that spam. It seems like Focus is not actually available. I'm gonna give Sotei Kishidan that pause. There's a 2-minute pause right there, so we're gonna be paused until 11:07, and I'm gonna engage the comments. So Fred says Akai throwing. Well, it's not easy to play in a semis, and Sotei Kishidan are not exactly giving them a good time. Sotei Kishidan are actually giving them a run for their money and a very tough time. So I think everyone is just a little bit under the pressure. I think if Crimson Era can just find that silver lining where Akai and Ronin can synergize really well, I think they can make it work. They can steal the objectives that can grant them some wave advantage. So and then it goes, someone says Baxter or Glue and 1 set tank for just nice for this game. Actually, Baxter would have been okay, but then again only against Tammuz, because Baxter wouldn't have been able to work against Melissa, neither will Glue. Melissa is really doing the work. Yeah, I agree, Isaac. Melissa is the one, because Melissa is camping a lot, and Melissa is actually, sniping the teammates whenever she finds the chance. So Abbott says Aka is not good for the team. Well, in some situations, yes, but in some situations Aka is actually good, because if Jiraiya can find the right timing and really push out MC, then there's a chance that Ronin can secure the objective and Crimson Era gets out of there before that becomes lethal. Then they can actually be stealing objectives. That's if Jordan doesn't outplay them, because that's another thing. And Equalizer doesn't outplay them. So it said Aka doesn't synergize with Ixia, Kimi, or even Alpha. Well, unfortunately, I don't know. I think Jiraiya's pick has been slightly off lately, because it's not actually looking nice. Okay, I'm just gonna pick someone here. I'm gonna mark someone. I don't know what's going on with my screen. I don't know why it's actually okay. I think my screen is too damp right now. It's just selecting. It's not allowing me to. Wow. Okay, I think my screen is too damp. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's a lot dance here. My screen is a bit too damp, so it's kind of misbehaving right now. But then again, there's the heavy spin. Oh, Jiraiya finally getting it right. Whoa, unfortunately gets the airborne. Guy secures the Lord instead. But then again, there's the go away from the Melissa ULE. Gets taken down. My goodness, guy was trying to finish him off, but then again, will he be able to finish him off? Oh, gets in the line of fire of Osho Lantern as he gets taken down. Wow, that was actually a very brutal one. But then again, I love the fact that you can see what I'm talking about right there with Ronin. You can see what I'm talking about. Just what I said. Oh my goodness, my screen is actually not looking nice. Then again, there's a 3-for-1 there. So my screen is damp right now, and I can't actually touch my screen, because if I turn off my screen, you guys won't be able to see anything basically. Ooh, there's the freeze. Ronin gets taken down. Ocean Lantern is really trying to push this game here. Wow, this is actually crazy. They're really trying to end this game. My goodness, Sotei Kishidan are pushing for the win here, but then again, the minions will betray them. So okay, builds. Okay, you want to see builds? Okay, I'll show you the builds. Oh wow, my screen is actually misbehaving right now. So I'm gonna clean my screen a little bit, okay, so you guys can see. So I can actually show you the builds right now. My screen is damp, and I need to clean it. And if I turn off my screen, you guys are not gonna see anything. So you're gonna have to make do with this for now. Yeah, my screen is damp. You guys are gonna make do with this for now. So I can just touch it and show you guys a bit. So you can just pause it and stuff. So you can just pause it and look at it. So I can actually do that, because I don't want to turn off my screen. That's setting up the whole thing is gonna be problematic. But then again, you'll be able to see. Oh, this guy was really trying to engage right here. I really hope this is going to. I can't actually move with the cam. Oh my goodness, the screen is too damp, and the screen is actually misbehaving. So Ronin, they're trying to clear the lanes right now. No, it's not. Oh my goodness. Okay, in case you don't understand what damp means, Lawrence, let me break it down to you. Whenever there's an engagement right there from Osho Lantern. Oh, I can't actually. This camera is not allowing it to move. My goodness, I will need to turn off this phone. This never happens. Okay, so there's a pullback right there, but Gaius is not willing to follow that up. I really like the fact that Crimson Era clearly are not trying to, show themselves that they've given up, because it's, my goodness, I really don't know why this camera is not following. Oh my goodness, this thing is actually frustrating me. Oh, there's the full-on barrage right there from Gaius, but that would be quite harmless, because, oh my goodness. Okay, I need to actually turn off this phone. So you guys are gonna have to bear with me for a while let me clean this screen and let me just let me use a tissue to actually clean the screen and a bit. So you guys are gonna bear with me. The screen is gonna black out a bit, so you're gonna have to bear with me. But then again, let's see this Lord dance first. Let's see how this Lord dance goes. Let's see if they actually take it. Gaius in a dangerous position. Ronin, Jiraiya gets taken down. My goodness, that's not a good thing, because right now Sotei Kishidan might have just solidified their place. But then again, there's the Winter Crown from Ronin, really using the spell of Alpha. They're trying to keep himself alive. But then again, the immortality comes in. Kuro Sensei takes down MC as he gets a double. The Lord is still available. Crimson Era are still finding their place here. Gaius and Hero are still trying to take this Lord. My goodness, it's still, wow. Crimson Era finds their place one more time as Kuro Sensei tries to take the tier 1 on EXP lane. I can't believe this is happening. Oh my goodness, I actually cannot believe this is happening right now. This is actually happening. It's crazy, but it is. Sorry guys, you guys have to make do with this for now. My screen is actually very damp, so I can't actually clean it. I can't actually turn on my screen, because right now things are getting super heated. Is this where they take down? Oh, there's a full-on barrage and gets shot down. Osho Lantern gets taken down. My goodness, could this be the pushback for Crimson Era. Could they actually be taking the game like this? Is this the moment? Don't tell me this is it. Don't tell me this is it. My God, I can actually believe this. Hero coming in there to support Gaius. Oh, already taking down the tier 1 on the other lane. And then, Jiraiya coming in here to support as well. Wow, this is really difficult to actually work with. This screen is actually misbehaving. But then again, I have to actually be marking the place. But then again, that's the cause of blood from Jordan. It's a dangerous battlefield right now. It's a very dangerous moment because they have minions advantage. This is full-on barrage from Gaius. Not willing to push that through though. Crimson Era really trying not to push their luck so much. Yeah, they actually did it. I mean, it's crazy, but they actually did it. They actually made it work. Crimson Era are actually finding their momentum back. They're taking back the gold lead though. This is actually getting super heated. I'm actually supposed to, turn off my phone and clean the screen so that everything can be okay. But I actually can't do that right now because I don't want you guys to miss out on any of the action. So you guys are gonna have to manage it like this. But once the game is over, once it becomes a 1-1, I'm actually going to, clean and turn off the screen so you guys, I can actually do my thing because this is actually ridiculous. I don't stream like this. Oh, there's a full-on barrage right now. Wow, Gaius really breaking that immortality on ULE there. Wow, it seems like the assassin is now getting assassinated because, usually ULE would camp and wait for his prey to come in so that he can, he buys the winter crown. Sorry, the wind of nature, rather. Crimson Era not wasting a second right now. Really trying to make sure that they lock down, someone here. Wow, this is crazy, but they're actually doing it. The Lord spawns in the next few seconds, and right now both teams are really trying to find their rhythm. Jiraiya not willing to let them get even close, misses the S2 though. Wow, they're really trying to make sure Gaius trying to take this Lord, but then again needs to position himself. Ronin already attacking the Lord, but then again, where is MC on all this? Wow, they're really trying to zone out MC, but Jiraiya will try his best. Takes out MC as the Lord is taken by Hero. ULE takes out Ronin as well. Hero takes out ULE, gets a killing spree as Sotei crumbles in the steam fight. Burned and brutalized by Crimson Era as they take their revenge strike. I don't really know what's going on, but Crimson Era are finally starting to find their rhythm, and potentially they could actually win this game and take game 2. It's crazy, but they're doing it. They're making it work. It's crazy, but they're making it work. This is insane. This is just insane. Jiraiya is trying his best to push here, as well as Kuro Sensei on the other end, but Equalizer takes out Kuro Sensei. Pushing a little bit too much here, but then again the inhibitors are down. Osholantan trying his best to take out this Lord. So the Kishidan are really losing their momentum here. This is not looking good for them. I mean, what's going on? What is going on here? I really should clean my screen. This is getting ridiculous, but you guys are gonna have to make do with this. You guys are actually gonna have to make do with this, really. So we can see something coming in here from Arrow rather, and we can also see Jiraiya here as well. Wow, I really want to see Crimson Era. If Crimson Era makes a comeback from this match, it's going to be difficult for Sotei because right now Sotei won the earlies, won the mid, and they're losing the late. It's crazy, but it's happening. Okay, and it's happening on live TV. So I'm gonna be looking at the comments. I'm gonna be seeing what you guys think. So someone says Sotei will win. Sotei will win. Well, right now Crimson Era have a chance. The waves are kind of evened up on the mid lane. So let's see how well they execute it. I think Ronin and Jiraiya are finally finding their rhythm. They're finally finding things, they're finally finding their synergy. So it will actually be, it's a possibility, okay? The lost spawns in 15 seconds. It's a possibility. Oof, Gaius finds the full-on barrage, but then again, against no one. Wow. Perhaps that was a preemptive strike for the Lord, because the Lord will soon spawn. Equalizer in a dangerous position. The Pride of Ice passive is broken, but then again, there with the cause of blood as Crimson Era forces an engagement. ULE, dangerous position. But then again, Jiraiya will try his best to pack enough damage. Ronin trying to engage, takes out ULE. The marksman is down. There's a 71 there. Also Lantern trying to engage, trying to push things right now. But Gaio comes in. The vengeance is already used. Jiraiya gets taken down as well. Also Lantern gets a double on Jiraiya. Jiraiya sacrificed himself for his jungler here. But will that be a worthy one? No, MC takes out Ronin and takes him out. Arrow goes down. My goodness, there is the flicker from Gaius to adjust the full-on barrage as MC goes down. It's a 3-for-none in favor of Crimson Era. Was that a fair trade? But then again, Oshulantan is the only lone survivor here. Wow, they really need to push. The Lord is advancing. There's still time. They can still win this. They can still take. There's actually Sotei actually securing the Lord before engaging completely. There was actually one thing that helped them, because if they had not, no, that wouldn't have gone well for them. That probably wouldn't have gone well for them really, because they would have, Crimson would have just ended the match and that would have been it. That would have been it. So Kuro Sensei, or really they're so good for either teams. This definitely isn't looking good for them. Okay, so we can see Gaius in here already as well. Wow, there's a Flom Barrage right there from Gaius. Gaius right now has hyped up his performance, because compared to the early game when he was really getting dominated by ULE, right now ULE is actually, before ULE the assassin, now ULE the prey, because you know, avoiding before. But then again, I don't know what he's up to right here. Ronin trying to farm the creep right now, but needs to be careful because ULE is up there. You shouldn't get assassinated. The worst thing you want to be right now is a prey to this Melissa, especially when that cooldown right now is 71 or so. Due to my screen, I can't actually zoom in well. I can actually adjust and move the camera comfortably like I normally would. So we're gonna have to make do with this. We're gonna have to make do with the switching, because if I turn off my screen, we might miss out on a pick action. So they lost to Lords, and so far so good. It's not looking so good. Hero, we're gonna have to, Ujiraya needs to come in here to make something work. But it's important they make it work though, because trust me, I really don't want to be there when that's occurs, when Sotei loses, because if Sotei loses this Lord, it's going to be game over. The waves right now are tied, and I can see some level of movements right now. Ronin will walk into a trap. That's a dangerous one to be in. But then again, gets taunted right now, baits them into the full-on barrage. But will Gaius adjust? No, not willing to adjust. But then again, you can see an engagement right now. Echo in a dangerous position, avoids ULE. ULE uses the fallen, but then again uses the flicker to get out of there before that could become brutal. Wow, Gaius really trying to take the Lord here. But then again, needs to get back into the base. The retreating, so the Kishidan are already zoning them out. This is not looking good for them. Jiraiya needs to get back out there, needs to lead the way. Because right now Sotei Kishidan has taken the Lord already, but then again it's a brutal team fight starting. The cost of blood has been used already. I think Gaius, this is one of the perfect opportunity right now, as ULE takes down Hero as well. The cost of blood, wow, my goodness, it's not looking good right now. Gaius in dangerous position. Guys gets taken down. I think this is it, guys. I think Sotei Kishidan finally claims the title for the victory in the semi-finals. It's not looking so good right now for for Crimson Era. They tried, they fought, they contested, but unfortunately Sotei was better in this fixture. So with that being said, despite everything, I finally still streamed it and I still stayed till the end. So that concludes the match for Sotei Kishidan versus Crimson Era. I appreciate everyone that stayed with me up to this point. Thank you so much, guys. Remember, I still remain your humble commentator, Black Matter, and keep being unapologetically you, and I wish you victories in your rank and classic matches. See you all tomorrow for the fixture of How on the semi-finals. See you guys later. Okay, so you can obviously you can see the stats now. Okay, see the data and the something. See the stats here. So you wanted to see the stats, look at it. So that's it. So GG's, they all tried, they all did well. So these guys, okay. That's it. Let me turn the screen off. Bikokwa.